Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Japan versus the World, where things have taken a turn for the worst. Now luckily, the US didn't do anything else up in this corner, which is good. They did fly in a bomber to support that tank that was there. The UK has taken the province of Archangel from us, and the US not only took West Russia, but they also stormed in and took Caucasus as well, which is not great at all. So we're going to have to do some damage control here to the best of our ability. And that's going to start with making some unit purchases. So we're going to go with 4 infantry and 4 artillery to put out of here. Then from down here in India, we're going to produce 3 fighters and 1 tank. And that's going to be about all we do units-wise. Alright, so for our counterattack, we're going to need to pull a lot of units in here. We're sending a couple of tanks up here to deal with this bomber and this tank. Bombers don't defend really at all, so I'm not super concerned about that. We're bringing in some tanks and some infantry in from all of these provinces here to hopefully retake Archangel. We're at a slight numbers advantage, but we've seen tides like that turn against us in the past. Down here, we definitely are coming in with a numbers advantage, but it's going to be a heavy casualty fight, without a doubt. So that's really going to be all we do there. So let's jump into our combat. Okay, starting things off in Yakut, this should be pretty one-sided. We get all the hits that we need. No returning hit from the bomber, and no returning hit from the tank. So at least there's that. We've completely recouped our background. And that's one less area we need to worry about. And jumping right into the next area of combat, we have our confrontation in Caucasus, and this is going to be nasty. Very nasty. Hopefully we get at least 1 hit here, which we do. We needed more than that, so let's see how many we can get out of these 12. Hopefully a solid chunk. A grand total of 5. And hopefully our bombers can do a solid number here. We've got 1. So that takes out 7 of the 13 tanks. And we're likewise taking 5 casualties. And no hit from their defending fighter, so that's good. Let's knock the rest of them out here, please. That's going to be 6, so that takes out the remainder of the tanks. And 1 hit is all we need from these bombers. Nothing. So we've still got this fighter left to deal with. How many hits are we going to end up taking here? That is 3. So we're going to take 3 of them here. And with this fighter, we are going to take 1 more. So let's take another one with the fighter. And this is where things tend to get expensive, but we've already got the last hit that we need from this combat phase. And of course, we're getting 1 more. So let's go ahead and take that on 1 final fighter and call it a round of combat. We netted a positive, but it was more planes than I would have liked to have lost, so that's never fun. Alright, moving up to Archangel, hopefully we can get at least 1 hit here, and that's a big fat no. From our tanks, we have 1-2 hits, so that's better than nothing. No returning fire from the infantry on the opposing side, so that's good. But we do have at least 1 hit coming in from these tanks, so we'll take that to a ground force. Pressing on, we need 2 hits to come out positive here. Nothing from our infantry. Please give me the 2 that I need from these tanks. That's 1. So we're going to 1 more round. No returning fire this time, which is good. And hopefully the last hit that we need comes here, which it does easily. Where was that last time? And no returning fire again. It always makes me a little bit nervous when we don't take him out immediately. So that does it for our pressing attack here. Alright, so for our non-combat here, really all we have left is moving these planes from the Caucasus fight up to defend Russia. And that's going to be all we really do there. And as far as mobilizing units, we can't build out of this factory because we haven't had enough units there. So we're going to go ahead and place all 4 of these infantry, these artillery, these planes, and I can't build that tank out of there, so it's got to come over here. Well, that's unfortunate, but we'll press on and see what this next round of combat brings us. Okay, we are very rapidly losing the numbers game. The US has a dozen tanks up here in Archangel, and they retook the fortress down at Caucasus again as well, which is not great. Fighting a losing battle in every sense of the word at this point. So, honestly, I think we've just got to let Caucasus sit how it is. So, that means taking some other measures. Here we're going to focus on producing a similar amount of units. So we're going to do basically the exact same thing that we did on our last term of purchasing 4 infantry, 4 artillery, a tank, and 3 fighters. Okay, so hear me out. This is against my better judgment, but I'm going to bring every troop except 1 infantry in from Russia and over here from Yakut, and a couple of fighters and the bombers into this fight. The remainder of these fighters, the fighters from our factory down in India, and the remaining infantry are going to come down here to Caucasus. And this is going to be terrible, but it's what we've got to do to kind of save some skin and try and get back in this, though we're pretty handily losing due to the sheer numbers that the US is cranking out over here. So let's jump into it and see how much longer we can deter the damage. Starting up in Archangel, we've at least got some infantry supported by artillery, so hopefully we can net a couple of extra hits here. And there's some 1s, 2 of them, so that brings the total number down to 10, which means we're already going to be into a second round of combat here. Tanks and fighters net us 1. You've got to be kidding. And our bombers here at least bring it down to 5. I was hoping to get them down to at least half, but that's not happening. How many hits do we have to compensate for? 6. Well, there goes most of our lower ranking ground troops. So let's press forward, I guess. That's 1 hit. Give us some more here, please. It's better, but not by much. Come on, give us 2. Thank you. Cuts them down to 3 remaining. 4 more? Gosh. Well, now we're even on the amount of ground troops. Please, both of you hit. Nope, just 1. How many hits do we have to take? All 3? Let's reset these. That's not what I was hoping to do. Come on, please, just 1 of you hit. Thank you. And of course we're taking 1. That was bloodier than it needed to be. And we definitely lost the battle. Which means that this is going to be even more of a bloodbath. No hit there. Please get at least 3 hits to take these clowns out. Well, that's at least 1 round of combat that we have to deal with. And no returning hits, so that's something. That's better than what it was last time. That was bad. I mean, we netted a positive in the end, but that was bad. That's it. This is our last line of defense. Moving these fighters back here and moving this tank over, because that's about all we can do. We're not going to be able to hold this front for much longer. Placing down our fighters here, our infantry and our artillery here, and the tank over there. And we're not going to be able to push this next one back, I don't think. We are barely hanging on. We've got no troops left here in Russia. The nearest support that we have is over here in Xinjiang. Of course, we've got our tank over here in Manchuria and our 3 fighters down here. That's it. That is everything that we have. So yeah, this is bad. So we're going to dump a bunch of infantry into Russia. We're going to build 3 bombers out of India. And that's it. I don't even have enough money to build a tank over here. Alright, so we didn't have any combat to carry out this turn. So we're moving this tank up here to prevent some blitzing. We're moving this tank up here to provide some extra support in Russia. Moving these fighters up there as well. And that's about all we can do. We're moving this guy over for like a deterrent. But that's it. That's all we can feasibly accomplish here. So let's dump our units into Moscow and these bombers out of Calcutta. And that's where we're going to call things off, because things are looking bad. And we will catch you in what's likely to be the finale of this series in 2 days. So thanks for watching. Leave your comments down in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, as the subscription is free and easy. And we'll catch you in the next one. Take care.